There's a war going on, the books can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover. Call the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Wednesday, May the 7th. We get ready for another great sports betting day with two playoff games in the NBA, two playoff games in NHL, and we've got a full slate of Major League Baseball, including the day games today here on Getaway Wednesday. Take a look at the action here from the Major League. 7 matinees and 8 games tonight. Thanks for joining me here on the show. We had a great time last night with you folks and with Sharpie yesterday with our baseball coverage, and then our extended show last night as we went late into the night covering the games in the NBA and NHL. We had some thrillers there with the Edmonton Oilers and Vegas Golden Knights last night, in case you missed it. And the Edmonton Oilers got that late goal last night, and they went on to win it 4-2. You guys had it right. I said I was going with Vegas, and you guys said we like Edmonton, and you guys were right in that one. Great call. Team Steam consensus gets a win. Edmonton takes the lead in that series over the Kings, 1-0 with that 4-2 victory last night. I was able to come up with a win with the under in the game between Carolina and Washington last night, as that one got off to a bit of a crawler, if you will, with that final last night. We did see a low scoring game for sure. 2-1. Carolina got the win over Washington there. So did have one winner there yesterday with the play on the under. Also, how about action in the NBA last night? Man, how about these road teams? What's going on? The miracle finish there for the Pacers and a great victory last night on that last second shot. Hey, did you catch me calling the action there last night with that big shot from Halliburton, and the way that the Cavaliers were able to get it done to take 2-0, or the Pacers anyway, the Pacers getting that win to take a 2-0 lead there in the series with the 2 road victories. Who had it? Team Steam consensus. You guys had it last night with the Indiana Pacers there. Yeah, I was able to come through with the winner here on the show. I did call the over as my play here, but Team Steam was on the Indiana Pacers. Great job, you guys, with the victory. They had the cover wrapped up. We know the storyline, of course, with the players. You guys got basically 9 points yesterday, right, with that Indiana Pacers in the morning. We didn't know at the time. We knew that they had the trio of players that were questionable. We didn't know they'd all not play in the game. So still became a bit of a thriller because the Cavaliers were able to play so well early on and take that lead, and a big lead really, but the Pacers just kept coming back slowly but surely, and they were able to get the win. Yeah, maybe after the end it was too much for the Cavaliers to handle anyway. They were still 5.5, 6-point favorites by the time the game went off there yesterday. Still doesn't feel like when you have 3 key players like that, yes, maybe they weren't the stars of the game, but 3 key players, yeah, there was still a big move on the side there of 3.5, 4.5 points, whatever it was. But it seems like it should have been more, really, with those three key players that were out of the game. Yeah, it wasn't Mitchell. Yeah, it wasn't Allen, but it was Mobley, and at all. So Pacers, so 2-0 there. And how about game one with the Warriors? They're able to survive the loss of Steph Curry with that hamstring injury in the second quarter. Obviously, one of the big stories of the postseason right now would be Curry's status. A hamstring is a serious deal at this time of year. That you saw the way he was moving. Doesn't look like he would have a chance to make the lineup here in the next game or two when you see what he was faced with there once he was knocked out of the game. But Golden State still builds a 20-point lead in the second half. The Timberwolves, a dismal first half, just 31 points in the first half. Green was making three-pointers. Buddy Hield, another strong game, and the Timberwolves were 5 of 29 from three-point range, and the Warriors got it. We did have the winning call here with the under, I'd say so. My pick was on the under here on the show yesterday. And hopefully you caught me over there on the Cover the Spread channel, giving out the Warriors as my pick yesterday in that game. So a bit of a stunner there, just given the nature of the game, but obviously the huge story here with the Golden State Warriors now awaiting the status of Steph Curry. I think most people are thinking, not going to make the lineup here in the near future and going to have to get a quick rehab here. Should the Warriors win, prevail, extend, whatever the case may be, they're up 1-0. That's the good news for the Warriors, but they'll have to manage their situation here moving forward. Okay, let's say hello to the folks in the chat today, and thank you for joining me here on the Morning Steam Show with who's here? It's Cash Kane joining us to start it off, and Robert McCormick, he's here as well. Sancho in the chat, he says he cashed Kane's money line, Oilers money line, comebacks in the NHL. Nuki is here today. Thank you for a fun night, Nuki. Good to have you here today. Nuke says, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, fastest growing sports channel for sports betting channel on YouTube. Man, that was fun last night with Sharpie hanging out there with his expertise on Major League Baseball and some of the prop action in Major League Baseball last night with a great card of action here. And that's where I thought I had a pretty good day with some winners here, including on the show yesterday on the Morning Steam, because we had the under with the game between Texas and Boston yesterday, with the Texas getting that win. Jock Peterson with that big double in that one. I had the winner on the show in game number game number one, of course, between Washington and Cleveland in game one. It was Washington getting the win. We had them. It was a wild one. We called Washington and the over, and the final score was I think it was 11-10. So I think we got a double winner on that one. And then I said in the nightcap, go with Cleveland. And Cleveland was able to win the nightcap with Carlos Santana with that 3-run home run. So, hey, once in a while you get the doubleheader right. Everybody says it's tough. I made it look easy there yesterday. About the New York Yankees. I shamelessly had the New York Yankees over my Padres yesterday. Now, I didn't lay the 10-run line or whatever it was with the Padres. I guess that would have covered, but it was 12-3, the final score with that 10-run seventh inning for New York. The Padres bullpen entered the game with an ERA of 1.67. Now the Padre bullpen ERA, I believe, is 2.32 because they gave up 10 runs in one inning. So that brought the ERA back down to earth for the number one bullpen in the major. They're still number one over the Giants, but 10 runs makes it it's funny. People will say, hey, Padres 2.2 2.32, whatever it is, ERA out of the bullpen, but we'll know it was because of 10 runs. So sometimes those things work themselves out. They were pitching into that was unsustainable. We know that. All right. I did have also the Cincinnati Reds on the run line yesterday in that matchup against Chris Sale and the Braves. We saw Sharpie make the call there yesterday on the show with Chris Sale, with him and Mike yesterday, and Sharpie was rolling with Sale yesterday, and Sale went 6 innings, struck out 10 in the win for the Braves, but it was a one-run victory, and I had the Reds on the run line. Also, I had the over in the game between San Francisco and Chicago. The Giants did it with 9 runs in the 11th inning. That's a record. So the we had the over. Apparently, the news is a little different coming out of Chicago today when it comes to the weather. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Also, I had a premium pick winner with Baltimore and Minnesota game to go over yesterday. Byron Buxton hit that 3-run home run. Game went over. Minnesota crushed Baltimore. Also had a winner here on the show with the Milwaukee Brewers. Jake Bowers, 2-run home run, and I said roll with Chad Patrick and the Brewers yesterday, and they got it done over the Astros. Also, I had a winner on the show with the St. Louis Cardinals over Skeens and the Pirates. I said take the Cardinals. Burleson had that 2-run double for St. Louis, and we also had a premium pick winner with the under in that game, and it was a solid under and a 2-1 win for St. Louis. Also, I had a winner here on the show yesterday, Toronto and the Angels game to go over late last night, and it did indeed, as the game got a little wild there, but the Angels were able to get that win. Also, had a winner with the Seattle Mariners on the road against Oakland last night. Mariners were able to get the win there late. So we were up there. We were late night with the guys there last night watching that one. Okay, that's baseball. And let's say hello to a few more folks and get the show started. We got a couple dozen of you coming in here already, so I think we're kind of ready to go. Abel was able to cash with Otani and Freeman. Those guys were smashing there yesterday. And Sancho says, the dogs are barking. Chill Will is here. Here's Abel. He says, today in the big Champions League. How about Champions League yesterday? I mean, we probably should lead the coverage off for today here with that game. What a game yesterday that we saw between Barcelona and Inter. Hey, I did have the VIP winner with my free picks over at Winnable. As I said, go over in the Champions League game yesterday. And, well, I guess it did, with Inter able to advance there with a long, wild game, and Inter was able to pull off the victory in the end to advance to the Champions League final. And of course, they will be ready to play the winner or the eventual winner of today's the culmination or the accumulation of the score today. We know in today's game, Arsenal and PSG, and PSG goes into that game leading 1-0 as they are at home here today. Okay.
Final.
Fernando, let's have another great day. He thinks it'll be another great game here tonight in the Champions League as we get ready for it. Oh, thanks for Abel. This is so cool here talking about the schedule here with PSG and Arsenal in that big coverage. So thank you for that, Abel. That's cool. With the TV information there. And let's see what else. Able to Caps is here this morning. Twisted with Greek Spore here. I've been kind of sweating this one out myself with Greek Spore. I did have some tennis plays go out finally overnight here as we get the action rolling this week here in Rome. But mixed results here overnight. Late night was able to get some other work done, and thought I'd hit some overnight action, but I was all over the place here. And Sancho says, big line here for PSG, holding that 1-0 lead and now at home. All right. And Abel says 3-3 there yesterday, and NYC bar here today. All right. Go to the commercial here a little bit, and then we'll get started with the show. Hey, everyone, you can get more plays from me here today over at winnable.com/Ramon. I've changed the pricing here for summer. Just $3 a day get you my plays, or you can get them for a new rate as well, $5 for 3 days. Here, as I said last night, they say, Ramon, why do you charge for your picks here, the sports money picks? I said, well, it's to pay for the subscriptions to all the channels that I got to subscribe here. But you can get more plays from me over at winnable.com, including some overnight action here. You can get my tennis action, my golf action by signing up for free over at winnable.com. Got some free plays that go out every day, but we also have some plays, some subscription plays as well. I try to give you my best plays over there at winnable.com, so please check me out. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20% if you get 1 month of my sports money premium picks. It's just 56 cents a day, and I just read you off some of the winners that I had yesterday. They weren't all winners for sure yesterday, but we can have some good days, and let's have some good days here as well. Check me out over at winnable.com. All right. Just getting squared away here with the action. All right. And we're going to get ready to go here right now with a little bit of steam coming in here. How about that? Ooh, it's all over the place here. Let's get these moves to you here as we get to the bottom of the hour, and we're all fired up and ready to go. And let's talk about some of this steam coming in right now, and it is on the Mariners and the A's. Hey, it went under last night, but the steam is coming in on the over right now with the Mariners and the A's. Look, the A's are only 10-7 to that over in the smallish ballpark of Sacramento, but they tell me the day games are going over at a little bit higher rate than the night games, and we are seeing the steam here right now. Yeah, come in on the over here. We're seeing the juiced nines go to 9.5 under here right now in the game between Seattle and Oakland today. Steam to the under right now here on the Morning Steam Show. And just seconds before that, another venue known for its high-scoring games. And how about it? Detroit and Colorado. We're seeing some steam to the over in that one with Detroit and Colorado. And that one is now starting to see some 10s out there, some 10 unders, juice to the under, if you will, with Mize and Dolander. Of course, they had the rain out yesterday, but they will not play a doubleheader today. They'll just play one game, and the doubleheader will actually be tomorrow on their getaway day. So steam coming into the over, though, in today's game, or tonight's game, I should say, at 8:40 Eastern, 5:40 Pacific. 7:40 there with Detroit and Colorado in Colorado time, Central Time. You know what I mean? So a little bit of some moves coming in here as we get going. Also, there were some other moves that were coming in right as the show was getting underway. You may have heard them in the background. Baltimore and Minnesota. Steam to the under there. This one was just as we were going on the air. It was 9.5, but still 9.5, just heavily juiced to the under with Baltimore and Minnesota, but the steam did come in there. It kind of snuck up a little bit. I don't know if it touched 10 at all, but nonetheless, we saw the steam come in on the under. Also, steam came in on the Atlanta Braves just as we were coming on the air as well. Atlanta was an underdog overnight. They are now a favorite. here, maybe even $1.20 against the Cincinnati Reds tonight as Grant Holmes goes up against Hunter Green on the Grant Holmes Rock Tour there with his long hair. And I think that might be, I thought there was one more. No, that's it for now. But let's get back to the chat here before we get rolling here. And looking forward to some of the tennis action here from Rome today with Alex Ayala taking on Marta Kostyuk today in an upcoming match, but some other good matches today in Rome, and we've already seen some players advance like Arthur Fees, or I'm sorry, like Talon Greekspor was able to just wrap that one up just moments ago and get that win. He'll take on Arthur Fees. Also, Muller advanced just a short time ago over in Rome, and that's not the only thing going on in Rome. Should we talk about it? Is it not something that's too cool to talk about? Who do you like to be the next pope? There, you can bet on it. In fact, betting on the pope is actually something that took place well before betting. They've been betting on the pope for hundreds of years. Some say, researchers say, they've been betting on popes for quite a long time. Maybe not as back as when it would take 2 months to decide who the next pope was be. Now we know it takes 2 days. Actually, I think the line is actually off the board by now because they've started the process, but we haven't seen any smoke yet. And I don't know if we'll see any smoke today either. But I don't know who do you, I thought. The favorite, actually, if you look at some of the markets, I don't know if maybe some of the poly markets are still open. I don't know if they are, but there is a considerable favorite. And, the Italian, there were 2 favorites. I don't remember the names now. I guess I could look it up. But the Italian favorite, I'll just say the Italian favorite, because there was the Italian favorite and the Filipino favorite. They were both kind of 2-1, and then the next Italian guy was 7-1. But I think everybody wants Pizza Balla. Right? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Pizza Balla, one of the, I think he was 9-1 though. I think Pizza Balla is going to get it, but you know what? Pope Francis wasn't a favorite either. He was a long shot. So anyway, you can bet on the Pope, but I think they've just gone off the board because we're in the conclave of deciding a new pope. So, did anybody get down on the Pope? Let's see in the chat there. But I don't think we'll know today, but we might know tomorrow because it doesn't take 5 days anymore, really. Here, although maybe it will. Maybe these, in today's political climate, maybe it will take a week. But I don't think it's Trump, though. Despite, I think he made himself the Pope there last week. Okay, a few more here. Let's say hello to Steve Leftarian here today. Good thing, Steve. I think we kind of split it. We might even fall at a game under 500 there overnight. Let's see here. Sancho wants that steam. Greekspor did cash. All right. Yeah, some good matches coming up here today. All right. Guess we're going to start the show. We might as well here as we get rolling with our coverage. And here we go. Let's go to. I hope we got everything. We've gone from the NBA to the NHL to the Pope here on the morning Seaman. Pizza Balla 9-1, and could go for some Pizza Balla myself. All right, let's get ready here right now and take a look at this one here with the Knicks taking on the Celtics in this one. And the Celtics should bounce right back. I mean, come on, they're 10.5 point favorites. They're obviously, 10 points better. They finished. Remember,
Final.
they finished with the second seed, and the Knicks, their kind of rival, finished with the third seed. So they're obviously 10 points better than them at home, right? After all, we just saw the Knicks get lucky and win the last game there, and doesn't seem right. I mean, what's going? Why do we give so much respect? It feels like to these home teams, like they're just again, the record would indicate that the Celtics were the far better team, and yes, they are probably. I mean, we know they are, maybe top to bottom, but sometimes that can work against you. It can get into your head a little bit. I don't know what the situation was or the deal was with the last game and the Celtics with poor strategy, poor shooting, poor attitude, and the Knicks were able to get that win. Now, I had the New York Knicks in that last game. I wasn't on on the sports money, but I was on another uh, channel, if you will, touting the New York Knicks as my play, or another service, if you will. I think it was my premium pick on over there at Tony's, and I went with the Knicks. I mean, there was such a heavy public favorite. When you get these, I mean, come on, heavy public double-digit favorites. Um, uh, the Knicks, yes, maybe they pale in comparison to this awesome lineup of the Celtics. But
Final.
look, in the end, the Celtics were the ones confused out there, and they couldn't adjust to the fact that maybe the strategy is to go in and try to. It didn't help that KP, who, yeah, we had our prop. I remember Nate, you out there. I mean, I was like, I'm taking KP today. I'm nasty Nate. I think KP is going to have a good game, and he got sick. And he's still sick, apparently, but he is questionable for the game today, and Sam Hauser doubtful. So another little blip there for the Celtics, and after all, they're still a 10-point favorite in this one. And again, it was kind of that situation where I've said it here. It didn't work out necessarily yesterday, but those big time favorites of 9 points or more that lose outright and then come back and they're 9-point favorites or more again the next game, they actually have a very strong record of covering the spread in the playoffs. Now, it is a kind of a stretch on the sample size, but the situation is clear. Uh, Lose outright as a double-digit favorite. Maybe it's 9.5 or whatever, and then you come back and we're able to crush the next game. So will that happen here today against the New York Knicks? I want to know what you guys have to say in this one between New York and Boston here in game number 2, with New York leading 1-0 there. Make sure we get the graphics right here. We don't want to put game 7 up there when we know it's game number. Remember, we did the graphic last game. I said it's 3-3. So Boston comes in having won 7 of their last 8 games at home now after that loss. They were won 7 straight in a row. New York has still lost 8 of the last 10 games against the Celtics. Coming in, they're just 3-6 against the spread the last 9 games. Against Boston here, Boston's covered 4 out of the last 6 games at home against the New York Knicks. We know Boston rolled in the regular season series over this team. In fact, coming into the game, the Knicks against the top 3 teams in the East were winless, I think is what they said. So they were able to overcome a lot of misfortune against the Boston Celtics in that game. Let's go to the chat, I think, and see. I mean, in these games, I don't know what you can do in a preview. I know we can roll off all the stats in the world or whatever, but hey, it's game by game. Sometimes you got to zigzag theory a little bit and see what you got. Here we go. Nuke says he's going to fade all the double-digit favorites, and if it goes down, it goes down. This is the playoffs after all, and look, these are supposed to be the best teams, right? And we're down to the final 8 teams. Let me just squeeze in a couple of steam plays here if I can, real quick. Want to keep you posted. They say, why do you interrupt the other coverage? Well, these games are moving right now. I want to make sure you don't miss out on the line if I call out your team that you liked and the line's moving. The Washington Nationals are taking the steam here right now in their game against Cleveland today, believe it or not, with Soroka on the mound. The Nationals were plus as high as $1.15, maybe even $1.20. But right now we're seeing Cleveland moving lower here, possibly to as low as $1.25 or lower here, with a little bit of steam coming in on Washington. And just a minute or two earlier than that, it was the Arizona Diamondbacks taking steam here in their afternoon game at home against the New York Mets, with Kelly on the mound against Senga. The Mets were favored in that game by maybe $1.25 or so, $1.30. But we're seeing right now the Mets are down to $1.15 at some books. The steam just came in on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Let's continue with the plays though. Here right now, it's NYC Bar on the Knicks. It's Cash Cane Celtics spread first half. In that one, here's Abel. He says, take the Knicks, go over is his play. Knicks and over here. And Chill Will says, I can't lay it right now after what I saw. Giving a lot of respect to the Knicks. Nuke says they missed 45 3-point shots. I mean, after a while, you just got to think it's not your day there. But look, this is the strategy the Boston Celtics have employed all season. They've been a terrific 3-point shooting team, but here's the thing. In the playoffs, teams play a little bit better defense. And if you're one-dimensional, well, maybe they can guard the perimeter a little bit better. The Knicks are no slouch. We know that. Come on. Just because they finished. And the funny thing is, right, they still finished the regular season, 10 games behind the Boston Celtics, but they were still the number 3 seed. And 9 Legacy, Celtics will smash New York. New York's going to have to prove it again that they're that good. But, well, maybe so, 9 Legacy. But right now, the New York Knicks have the home court advantage. They don't need to win today's game. But we saw what the Pacers did. Twisted said, I cashed the Pacers and the over. NYC Bar says the Knicks win tonight. Boston is in trouble. Abel likes some props here with Hart and Holiday. Twisted said last time was an easy road in the playoffs for Boston, and it won't be the same way this time around. And Cash Cane said, let's get ahead of this one. Boston is the best team, you guys, and that was maybe just a wake-up call, I think is what Cash Cane is saying. And Abel says, tease the dogs. You not only get 10 points, you get 16 points or more here. Oh, it depends. About a basketball teaser, you might be getting 14, 15 points there. And Boston was up by 26 the last game, and they'll smash them today. It almost seems like a curse to get up big, right?
Final.
Let's see. And 9 Legacy says it wasn't defense. They just missed their shots. All right, maybe they could just play with no defense. They'll just stand on the other side of the court. All right. Twisted says, I think they'll win, but can they cover? Robert likes the over in this one. And 9 Legacy says, Celtics in 5. They'll win 4 straight games, 9 Legacy says. All right, I'm going with the New York Knicks. I don't buy what you guys are trying to sell me here at this point. Look, Boston should win here. I'm going to give the Knicks a lot of credit that this team led by Jalen Brunson. But you know what? I failed to kind of mention in some of the coverage here leading up, but remember some of the other performers that came through for Boston in the game. Miles Bridges was a big impact player in that game with his scoring there as well. That was more than just, it felt like the Knicks top players, if you will. OG Anunoby, he's a top player, I'd say, right? So I don't know. You look at that lineup, and I think that is a good matchup. Now, maybe the Celtics and their depth, but again, is it going to be no Porzingis? I figure he'll make it, but Hauser also out. All right. I think that might be it. Twisted on the over, and Cash Cane says all the favorites on the money line were through screwing around, says Cash Cane. And Nine Legacy says they were the X Factor. He says give them that a little bit in that game. And take the points and over, says Twisted. All right, I'm on the Knicks as my play here on the Morning Steam Show. I'll take 10 points again and just take my chances. Yeah,
Final.
like I said, it's a real statistic. Teams that, like I said, were 9.5-point dogs or more, or favorites or more, and lost outright, have come back to cover. Although I think because of the statistics from the first game there, I believe it's now 15-5 against the spread and 17-3 straight up. So that's pretty interesting. That is a trend. Usually that's something where I'm kind of on it, but I'm not going to be on it this time around. Okay, I guess that's it from you guys. And the Knicks and the Celtics game. Look, I didn't see Nate in the chat, but I think we know what Nate is on. He's on, maybe he wasn't. Maybe he's here because remember what he says. If he doesn't put a play in, then he's usually on the other side. But I'm going to think maybe it was a little not in there. He's got to be on the Celtics second quarter at least. And Cash Cane said, Celtics spread. They were beating the Knicks in the regular season. There was no problem. They rolled them, right? Okay. Let's move to the next one, though, here right now and get to the Western Conference semifinal matchup between the Denver Nuggets and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Same thing here, huh? Look at this. Denver obviously going to mail this one in after they won the first game. They got to figure, hey, we won one. We got the home court advantage. We'll let this young, inexperienced playoff team roll us here. Joker will just take the night off. He won't try in this game, even though we know now. I think I alluded to it. I think I can fairly confidently say that I said, the one thing about the Denver Nuggets with the X factor of Joker, it's easy to say now after his incredible performance in game one, that Denver could give Oklahoma City a hard time because of one player. And the supplemental cast that can add when your superstar player is playing at an elite level, such as Jokic in that first game. And he had great support as well from the cast, including Westbrook, Murray, and Gordon as well. And they played great and got that upset win with the great shot there. So again, now here you are, 11 points. I guess the Thunder just going to roll these guys here, and the total here at just 229.5. I guess no defense here in the playoffs for these two, but doesn't seem right. Actually, that seems pretty high. I know what we saw. I think I know what I saw in that game. Let's see how you see it tonight in game number 2 for Denver here. Hot, right? They're 4-0-1 against the spread in their last 5 games. Oklahoma City, though, still, you got to look at it long term. They've gone 15-5 against the spread in their last 20 games. But here you got to ask them to cover 11 points in a playoff game. That's all. Like I said, Nuggets, who are they? Anyway, we know they got a championship pedigree. 7 of the last 10 meetings between the two teams have gone under coming into this one. And Denver, however, has gone over in 4 of their last 5, dating back to last series. And also, thank you, Siri. Let's just go to the chat here in game number 2. I'm on Denver in case you couldn't figure it out. Taking 11 points, man. I mean, come on. I know. Maybe if anything, maybe this could be maybe they will walk through it a little bit.
Final.
I'm not gonna. I'm taking them. Action Jackson. Hey, he took the Knicks as well. Trevor did as well. Thanks you guys for. Sorry, I missed your plays there. Lego World Knicks plus the points. Abel says Knicks are a consensus play. If I'd have known that, I'd take the Celtics. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. Not after Team Steam beat me yesterday. You guys beat me yesterday by taking the what was it? Oh, the hockey game. NYC bar. Look at it. We got two. Thank you, Abel. Thank you, NYC bar. And look at how identical. I didn't know that Abel and NYC bar were the same person. I'm teasing you guys, but look at how Abel typed it in, and then right after NYC bar. So that, hey, if I believe you guys are right, it's a consensus. But there were you guys say it was there were several people on Boston, I thought, in the chat, right? But maybe it was a little bit overwhelming. Maybe it wasn't enough there to consider it a consensus play. But I saw the people in there saying, Boston will be back. That's fine. Okay, here we go with this game though. Oh, we got a steam move here. It's on the A's in the game against Seattle today. We saw Seattle there yesterday, much the best in the end. Man, Seattle's got a pretty decent offense too. But the steam just came in on this rookie pitcher, Hogland, and Seattle was favored in this game on the road by as high as $1.50, but right now they're going to be down to $1.30 here at some of the square books. Yes, Steam just came in on the A's today as a dog at home in that as they wrap up the series there at the Sutter Health Park. All right, here they come. It's NYC Bar on Denver. Action Jackson on Denver. 9 Legacy says Denver has a chip on their shoulder and they'll look to get a big win here. And Action Jackson says he doesn't see blowouts here. Obviously, I'm not seeing it either. I still could call for a blowout. So I guess the situation is a little bit dicey with some of these teams, especially right now. I figure Golden State, we'll see how they respond without Curry. I'm not saying they're going to get blown out of the next game. They did an incredible job last night. After all, I mean, we were on them. We were on Golden State in that game. Denver plus the points because OKC, those thin guys in the middle, right? Holmgren and Hartenstein, are they not getting it done there a little bit? Abel's on the Nuggets. Wow, the Nuggets are going to be a consensus play too, and I'm on them with you. It feels like Robert's on the Nuggets, and here's the one. Twisted says the one thing that kind of some of the people are starting to say, right? Take the experienced teams in the postseason right now. The been there, done that's are kind of the ones getting it done at this point. Cash Kane says the Nuggets might cover, but both dogs won't cover because of Vegas. Joe T, great job last night with Joe, giving us some great coverage and some picks last night. Nuke says, got to take these double digits. Abel's seen it up. So it's both underdogs here. I don't. Hey, you guys are independent of me. I don't think I swayed you guys at all, but that's the way I'm going too. Here, I'm taking the Denver Nuggets plus the points. So I guess I'm on the 2 dogs with you. I'm with Team Steam consensus tonight, taking the big points in the NBA games. And 9 Legacy says blowouts are a high percentage. Oh, yep, okay. And I guess that's it. I'll give you a chance one more moment to put your play in here maybe for the Robot Glock also did a great job. Saw Robot Glock there a couple times in the show last night. Thank you, Robot Glock. Says, how about the first half parlay with the favorites here? Take the Celtics and the Thunder. There's someone who's supporting those favorites a little bit. And also, Abel says also that we almost had a consensus with over in that Knicks Celtics game as well. I didn't catch that. All right. I think that's it for the action in the NBA. Let's get ready to go to the NHL and take a look at our exciting matchups here for today, shall we? Make sure I have my notes on this one here. All right, let's go to the NHL tonight with two important games here as we get back to the action. And let's start it off with the Panthers taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs. You know, it feels like the crazy thing about the first matchup here between Florida and Toronto, obviously, is the fact that Toronto leads the series 1-0. It almost doesn't feel like it the way Florida was putting on the pressure there after Toronto got that lead and did lose their goalie here, Anthony Stolarz, who's done a fine job. Now, look, we saw plenty of Joseph Woll. Maybe we saw too much of Woll during the regular season, but give him some credit. I mean, if anything, I don't think the Maple Leafs were totally all about Stolarz during the regular season. I mean, you know, you're always going to have your backup play in there, but I don't know, for a while, I don't, you know, other than the fact that we just talked about hockey every day here on the show, and we try to talk about the goalies and who's going to be, you know, in the lineup on a particular day, right?
Final.
It wasn't always necessarily Anthony Stolarz. In fact, Stolarz only didn't even play in half the games this season. You know, Woll had plenty of starts in there this season. It was almost as if he was kind of the man early on, and then Stolarz, you know, played better here. But certainly, right now, the health of Stolarz, not only, you know, we want him to feel better. That was a bizarre incident that the Maple Leafs are also feeling the heat a little bit about, because they didn't take him out of the arena right away for a man with a concussion that should get checked out. He came to the bench and then uh, had a little bout of nauseousness on the bench, and then they decided we better get this man to the hospital with his concussion there. So still Toronto here at home, an underdog here at $1.35, $1.40 right now is Florida down 1-0 on the road. They are not the higher seed here against Toronto. Remember, Florida was a 3 seed coming into this series. Now, okay, they're the defending champs, and they're got great players there, Reinhardt et al. You know, Florida is definitely a, you know, championship contender, but so is Toronto at this point, given the fact that they had such a strong regular season. They finished 5 games better pretty much than the Florida Panthers here this year. Let's go to the chat a little bit and see what you guys have in this one for game 2. Obviously, it's a big factor here tonight with the change in goalie, because Woll was feeling the heat. He was not the great Woll there late in the game, and looked like he had lost confidence quickly with the way Toronto was giving up goals to Florida, and Florida was coming all the way back. Toronto was able to still outlast Florida. Maybe that lead was big enough. They got an extra scoring in there. So let's take a look what you guys have in this one. Toronto has won 10 of their last 12. They're 10-1 at home in their last 11 games. Florida has won 4 of their last 6. They've won 4 out of the last 6 games against Toronto coming in. 12 of the last 16 meetings between these two have gone under. Toronto's won 4 out of the last 5 meetings between the two teams here in Toronto. Florida's gone over in 7 of their last 8, including 4 of their last 5 games on the road. And we obviously saw plenty of goals in that first game in the 5-4 win for Toronto. Let's go to the chat here in this one and see what you have between the Florida Panthers and Toronto Maple Leafs. Thank you for being here with me on the show, and we're ready. And thank you to Robot Glock in there. He's saying that today Robbie Ray's pitching for the Giants versus the Cubs. Take the Giants in the first 5. And here's the thing, if you haven't already heard, we'll get to that in just a moment, but the wind is howling today. It looks like it's a massive look at the total in that game. You rarely see totals down here in the 7 range unless it's just blowing straight in. I don't know if it is blowing straight in tonight, but it is heavy wind. All right, here we go. Bob had a rough game last time out. 9 legacy likes Dallas, or sorry, Toronto and Dallas on the money line. And Nuke, kind of saying Nuke here that maybe Stolars could be in there. The one thing about it, right, and I don't know if what the concussion protocol rules are actually in the NHL. I guess he could come in and play if he is available to play. I thought, obviously, look at the NFL. You can't play the next week if you get a concussion. Did they rule that it really was yeah, it had to be a concussion, right? Stop Geo. We had a great time last night, didn't we, with the coverage? And NYC Bar, we're getting us going here. Panthers. Cash Kane is on the Panthers. Nuke says if Wool's in there, that's trouble. So right now, I'd have to say Nuke is on Florida here because it does feel like, yes, I agree. We don't really know. In fact, some of the sites are kind of listing, but they might have just kind of not bothered to change it or something. But some of the sites kind of are showing Stolars, but that can't be. That can't be possible, is what I want to say. Given the severity of the injury right now. So, okay, here we go with more though. Tavares here, a little prop action, Action Jackson Panthers regulation, and Nuke says if Wool is named the starter, the line will continue to move. That is very interesting. In fact, the way I would speculate that, like I said, I think it would be very, very surprising here. So what Nuke is saying here is you can get, if you are on Florida, take them. Well, I don't want to say it like that because Nuke's kind of intimating that Stolars could be playing in this game. But it does feel like the line reflects to me more that that it will be Wool. Okay, Abel on the over here in this one. Maple Leafs team total under here for Kane. Lego World says, I want to take the under and I can't do it. Nuki says the Panthers will not come out flat. They'll be ready this time. And Kane says their defense won't be like the first meeting. Abel's got a nerfy in some game out there. I don't know which one it is, but maybe he's got no goals first period, I think is what Abel might have. Robert's on Florida here to bounce back in this one. And Robert says, what is the stadium win map website? I'm on. Okay, Robert. Thank you, Robot, there. And let's see here anymore. Twisted, like the picks there, I think, with the right. We just gave it out. We just gave out what we gave out the previous day. Nuke is on the Panthers here in this one, and Abel here says Nerfy for the Cubs game. All right. Yeah, I'm on the Panther. Oh, look, consensus is on the Panthers. Wow. I don't think I've ever had this happen where I'm on the same team as the consensus and amazing. Okay, I'm taking Florida though here for sure right now. I agree, but can I sell anybody on the fact that Joseph Woll, played a lot of games in goal this season, no doubt about it. Stolars really, like I said, he only played a little bit better towards second toward the second half of the season, and it kind of became the man uh, that he earned the starting job, kind of, right? So, all right, let's see what Stop Geo says here. I'm going to try to read this one here. Uh, Rest of the market moving to 130s or worse. Cleveland getting, he's saying he's taking the Cavaliers on the money line in that next game there because of uh, the situation with Steph Curry. You know, another one where it looks like he's gonna, feels like he's gonna be. No, I'm sorry. He's talking about the Cleveland game. Let me get that straight. The Cleveland game number 3, of course, with Indiana, with Cleveland favorite on the road. There, he does like the Cavaliers to come in and do it. Okay, I got it. Robot Glock says if those guys are out. It was almost surprising, right? I was like, some of these guys got to make it. It seemed like Mobley was the one that was most hurt, if you will. But then, we know Garland was having an issue, but he was moving closer, it felt like, to in there. And Hunter, we didn't know, but man, they all missed the game. Okay, I guess that's it for Florida and Toronto. And well, I'm just going to have to take Florida right now. It does feel a little bit shaky here. Wall. Look, I felt bad for the guy there a little bit because they flashed at one point. He'd give up that other goal. He threw his shoulder up, and another one beat him there. And Florida was starting to pepper him. And man, if they had more time, they would have won. And they, kind of showed a close up. And then at the end, he did make the one big pad save. And, good teammates. They came in and said, hey, you did it. You did it. You won the game there. They probably were like, I'm not so, but try to give the guy some confidence there a little bit. And he made the big save at the end. Pad save there. Okay. Let's get to the next one here. We got a big baseball card, so we got to keep talking and keep going with the Stars taking on the Jets here in this one with Ottinger on the road here, and they are favored $1.20 here, and 6 under 25. It may be 5.5 over still a lot of places, but I'm starting to show a little bit of sixes out there. We did see here a little bit some movement here right now within the last couple of minutes, actually, on the Winnipeg Jets for sure. At least a 10-cent move. I almost feel like it was some steam here at this point. Will we get the steam report here coming in, because there's definitely a move coming in on the Winnipeg Jets here in this one against Dallas? I'm showing circa Dallas barely a favorite. Bet Online just moved from, I'm not kidding, they moved from $1.24 down to $1.11. Bovada was $1.28. Now they're down to $1.15, and DraftKings was $1.25 down to $1.15. This is within the last 10 minutes. Like you said, last night we were talking about the time we come on here. It's not a coincidence I've chosen this time for the show. This is time where we kind of see the early moves kind of happen. Back when I was young, it was at 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific. But in today's day and age, maybe it comes in a little earlier. All right, let's go ahead and get to some of the trends and information in this one. As we get, where's our graphic that says we got to have the graphic that ended? Well, no, 0-0. We'll just leave it. We'll just leave it 0-0. We're not going to say series tied 0-0 since it's game one. So let's go with the trends and your plays here a little bit. Dallas still comes in having lost 10 of their last 14 games coming in. And Dallas has lost 4 of the last 5 meetings against the Winnipeg Jets coming in. Winnipeg's gone over in 5 straight. This series has gone under in 8 straight meetings between these two teams right now. But Winnipeg did go over in 5 straight games coming in, and Dallas has gone over in 4 of their last 6 games coming in. Dallas just 1-5 on the road, their last 6 games right now, and Winnipeg's won 12 of their last 18 overall, including 5 straight at home right now. So, look, Winnipeg, they're the number one, the number one seed in the Central Division. So, and they finished with the best record, of course, in the Western Conference, but they're an underdog here. Dallas getting maybe a little bit healthy. We haven't seen just yet that Jason Robertson would play in this game, but talk is that he's ramping up, moving closer to his return. They could certainly use him today, but man, I'm not sure they're quite getting there with him just yet. Let's see what I almost want to tweet deck this one right now because still, listed here as questionable. Now, the bigger story is on the Winnipeg end, as far as it feels like, as far as these injuries are concerned, especially if Robertson is in there for Dallas. Right now, I think he's questionable, but there's a lot of talk that he's going to make it to this lineup here today. So that is interesting because you have the 2 best defensemen on Winnipeg out of this game, probably. It does feel like, with Morrissey and Logan Stanley, and 2 top defense, Morrissey, obviously, and also Mark Scheifele, the great center of Winnipeg, also questionable for this game. So that got to be part of it here, it feels like, a little bit as far as the move is concerned. Also, Heiskanen, questionable, though, for Dallas as well. So we know Winnipeg, great fan support, if you will. And let's go to the chat, though, in this one and see what you got. Feels like that's kind of the story line coming in. Here we go. And I think we got the plays here. It's going to be Abel taking the under in this one. Like I said, 8 straight meetings between these 2 teams have gone under. Cash Kane on the under. Twisted's on the Jets. NYC Bar says take the under here. And Action Jackson said, did it open at 6.5? I don't think so. I think mostly 5.5 overs for sure here. If we're only starting to see it just maybe trickle up a little bit. And could it be a letdown for the Jets after what happened in game 1? Robert likes the under here. Action Jackson said the total got steamed there. He took it at 6 under. And Abel said also at 6. SF Niner says it's 5.5 all the way here. I think it's 5.5 over for sure. It feels like to me every book is grading has right now 5.5 over 20, 5.5 over 25. Feels like the line. Bovada is dealing mostly as 6 as their main line at 6 under 25. So I don't think it's 5.5. I think it's 5.5 over. There, Robert Glock. Well, I don't know if maybe that's what Niner means. I don't mean to be really, but in hockey, the juice is so important. It is the main thing, really, because you're only going to have it 5.5 or 6 here at this point in the playoffs. All right, let's see here. Robot says could be a 3-2 game. Dallas pulls the goalie. We saw that yesterday, right, with that 4-2 there. And Niner says under 6 is fine, and it makes more sense if it's heavily juiced. However, Cash Kane here says, he says, hit the like button. Hey, young native Tino. Nice to see Tino in the chat. Okay, that might give you guys one more minute here to make the pick. in this one between Dallas and Winnipeg here. I've got to take the Dallas Stars. It feels like the way the injuries are trending to me, and that's a big factor, of course, in hockey with these lines and these great players, but feels like Robertson might be in there in this game. Now, I would like to get Heiskanen in there. I think that's a key player as well. And clearly, like I said, there is a move here on Winnipeg right now. Um, it almost makes Dallas kind of more affordable here. Like I said, Winnipeg, they're the number one seed in the West. Um, I would probably be on Winnipeg if I felt like they were healthy. But look, Shifley is one of the best players on the team, if not in the league, right? And Morrissey, he's one of the best defenseman and scoring defenseman, offensive defenseman, right? Good player there, and Stanley as well. So, you know, Heiskanen, important player for Dallas. Robertson, important as well. I'm only making this my play on the show because I'm not going to make a premium out of it. I think the injuries favor Dallas there a little bit. It feels like. All right, let's see here what we got. And Truth Teller is here today. Hello to Truth in the chat. He says he had a fire day there yesterday. And Niner says, Porzingis, he just disappeared. Yeah, Niner, I think we got to at least say, because of the official injury report that he was sick. He was sick, no doubt. Nuke going with the Stars as well. I got to take the Stars, it feels like, here in this one. I need Winnipeg, I think, personally, but I'm kind of playing the injury game here, it feels like. And I'm going to take the Dallas Stars. All right, guess that's it for the hockey here. Let's get to the major leagues right now. And great card here today. We'll try to get through it with you guys. Let's take a look at the games here in this one. Thank you, Truth. He said he watched the show here yesterday with Sharpie and Mikey. Thank you to Truth Teller for saying that. Cash Kane says Connor will score for Winnipeg. And look, that's great, right, to think about picking some of these other players up. Let's go to the major leagues here now, and we've got day games. In fact, we're just a couple of hours away here with this one between the Cleveland Guardians and the Washington Nationals. We just said it moments ago that a steam came in on Washington, and now take a look here as we get rolling with our MLB coverage today. I like this card. And let's get to the pitching matchup here between Logan Allen on the mound in this one, going up against Soroka. So Soroka's had one start here with Washington. It wasn't good, that's for sure, but with one start under his belt here, Washington, we know they're pretty bad here, but I'm going to give Soroka a chance maybe to get going here a little bit. Cleveland, 21-15, looking pretty good here so far. Numbers for Logan Allen are okay. 4 ERA, 277 batting average against, but a 1.5 whip. I mean, even Soroka had just a 1.2 whip in that season debut. He wasn't as bad as the runs might indicate, I think, anyway. But still, we've seen some runs yesterday between these two, especially Cleveland. I think they scored 20 runs yesterday. Was it 19, 21? Whatever. They had almost 20 runs, I'd say, yesterday in the doubleheader there. Washington had big offense one game. They didn't look so good offensively, I think, in that second game. But Lord pitched okay there. Gave up 3 runs. So I'm going to go. Let's go to the chat here, actually, in this one and see what you guys have as we get the segment started with Cleveland and Washington here. 8 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams here in Washington have gone over, including 9 of the last 12. It's a interleague series, so they don't meet a whole heck of a lot of times, but Washington's gone over in 4 of their last 5 at home. Cleveland's gone over in 5 of their last 6 on the road. Washington's gone over in 7 of their last 10 overall, and Cleveland's gone over in 4 of their last 5. Give me the over in this one between the Guardians and the Nationals here. Like I said, both the Soroka had rough numbers here in that first start, and Allen a 1.5 whip coming in. Guardians are 19 and 15 to the over so far this season. Nationals allowing 5.3 runs per game, with the National League's worst bullpen, and Cleveland allows 4.6 runs per game. I'm on the over. Let's see what you guys have in this one. And it's going to be, thank you, Twisted, for pumping up Sharpie here. And here's NYC Bar. He likes Washington. And Nuke says, if they're starting this one at noon Eastern, I got to go under. Abel's going over here with me. I'm going over, Nuke. I'm going over here after seeing all those runs yesterday. What, 30 runs, more than 30 runs. Robert, those on the under as well. Robert's on the Nats. Twisted's on Washington money line. He's leaning to the under as well. A lot of Washington and under from you guys here today. But I'm going over in this one with Cleveland and Washington. And it says they're 9-1-15. What does that mean? Yeah, 9 over 15. I think I could fix that. Not a big deal, but usually I'll put the whole 115. Hopefully you guys understand my little shorthand that so this right here. I mean, I know you guys, if you're a viewer of mine, 9 over minus 115. Not many people do write it out like this, or I don't know how other shows, you see it all the time, listing the whole line or whatever. This is just my little shorthand, and it actually comes from a device. I'm so old. This is the I'm so old segment of the Ramon show. But when I was 18 years old, I got a little gift that I asked for from Santa Claus. I said the product had just come out. This is a long time ago, and there was no internet back then, and you watched TV or read the newspaper to get the results. But they had just kind of started the technology where, beepers were around. People wore the beepers. If you got a phone call, your wife called, your girlfriend called, your work called, little beeper. You know what beepers are. We all know what they are. But they started to develop the technology that the text could come in the beepers, right? And so I had a device. It was like a little Motorola beeper. I think it was a little bigger with the first one I got when I was 18 years old on my birthday. I wanted it, and Santa brought it. And it was a pager that, gave the scores. And all it was, updating the scores. It would beep, and then every 2 minutes the score would come in. I would live off that thing, man, just whipping through the lines and everything on there. Very crisp. And that's kind of how they listed the total to make it, because you like fit like 32 characters or whatever. So you'd have the Guardians, Allen. It looked just like this kind of. So that's been the way I've done it. But if you could Google or maybe send it through the Grok there to find the old pager, the old sports pager that listed the games. And so that's why I've done that. All right, let's move on here. Oh, a few more comments here, maybe about this game here. We've got Luis on Cleveland. Thank you, Luis. Cash Kane here, Nationals first 5. Gorky's got his 10. Hi, Gorky. Good to see you there. And he says he's got Bencic and Raducanu there, right? Only the doctors had the pagers back then. Gorky here talking about it. You guys like that? You guys got to see this. It was a great device. I mean, telling you there. Yeah, well, Nuke, my birthday's in December, December 28th. So maybe it wasn't. You know what? Here's the thing. It wasn't my birthday, actually. No, it was. I just say that because, but I do remember actually it was on Christmas because the first game that was on there, and this is how, if anybody is remembering the, nowadays, what do we get on Christmas? We get NBA, NHL. Back in the day, there was one game on Christmas Day. It was the Blue Gray game. It was a Blue Gray game and maybe the Aloha Bowl, and that was it. And I remember opening that pager up, and the Blue Gray game was the first game I saw on there, and I was like, I got the pager. All right. Trevor on the Nationals there. And I was so cool with that pager because, you didn't have, like I said, there were no phones giving you the scores. There were no, you watch the bottom line ticker for the scores a little bit. More consensus here. Wow, the Nash. I thought I was great. You guys have just taken the Nationals as a consensus play over the Cleveland Guardians. Now, I get it. There. And Nine Legacy is on the Guardians run line. He's bringing a little sensibility here. Maybe not. Maybe I'm on Washington, but nonetheless, I'm on the over as my play here on the show. Let's keep it rolling here right now with that's a good point. Here's another. It says twisted off. So another thing that people would do back in the day is you would call a number and they would read the scores to you, and you'd have to listen to an ad first, and that's kind of where the old tout stuff came into play. You'd call the line and wait for the scores. You'd have to listen to first, uh, you know, touting the service, and then the scores would come on. Okay, here we go. Next up, Astros taking on the Milwaukee Brewers here. Framber Valdez and Quinn Priester going in this one with the Astros here, $1.35, $1.40 here on the road with Framber Valdez. Valdez is 1-4 with a 4.39 ERA, 2.95 BABIP. Kind of shaky numbers here for sure. Houston's 2-5 with Valdez on the mound. For Priester, he's 1-0 with a 5.79 ERA, coming in a 1.75 WHIP. He struggled for sure. 1.7 WHIP, 3.06 the BABIP. So Priester's had issues here as well, and he's got to get his control down. He's walking 15% of the batters coming into this one. Houston, though, has lost 5 of their last 6 coming in, including 4 of their last 5 on the road. Milwaukee's won 6 of 9 coming into this one. Houston's lost 5 of their last 7 games against Milwaukee coming in. 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under. 4 of the last 5 games for Milwaukee have gone under here at home. 5 of their last 6 overall also to the under. However, Houston's gone over in 7 of their last 9. And let's go to the chat and see what you have in this one. Houston and Milwaukee here from Milwaukee on getaway day. And Abel had the car. Oh, Abel was rolling before everybody was rolling. He had the big car. It was like, you'd have the big console and you'd be like, hello. And Cash Game, that's what it was. Cash Game, they had the text and before it was just the numbers. And then, he's saying like Cash Kane was spelling words like boob. Is that what he means? Astros here for Luis. You can only spell so many words, right, with the numbers. I thought you meant like because the pager would have letters, and that was like, wow, Astros here. And Houston on the money line. And Gorky says Steelers going to deal Pickens there. We saw that rumor mill there a little bit last night. To catch up on that there. If it's breaking news, let me know. Looking around here right now to see if we've got. But thank you for that. Also, let's see here, Astros first 5. And over here for Robert. And I'm taking the Milwaukee Brewers as a dog here in this one. Priester bad numbers, but Valdez hasn't been very good either. Milwaukee uh, maybe playing a little bit better against Houston in this series, in this season series anyway, a recent series, and Houston with certainly some struggles right now. We're not seeing all the. We're not seeing a great Houston team. It does feel like here at this point. Although, give them some credit, they are 17-18. Milwaukee 19-18 coming in, but Houston down 6.25 units so far, and also. Uh, uh, Milwaukee here just currently at pretty much just a break-even proposition. Okay. All right, here. Sorry about that. Let me get the next game up. We're in the day games here. Pirates and Cardinals with Keller going here on the mound for Pittsburgh and Gray going for the Cardinals here in this one for Keller here. 7 starts, 1-3 record, 4.3 ERA coming in, 1.35 WHIP, 3.04 BABIP. Not great for Sonny Gray. I think these numbers are okay. 3-1 for Gray. Cardinals are 5-2 with Gray pitching. Does have a 4.12 ERA, but a 1.19 WHIP and a 252 batting average against, but striking out 25% of the hitters about approximately here so far. For Gray, he is 7-0 to the over so far this season. But this number is pretty tight there right now at 7.5. Better switch it here. It is shaded to the over a little bit anyway. And the line here is it's going up to $1.90 or so right now for the Cardinals. Expected to, this is a tough number to swallow, but my computer over here is saying that Cardinals may be okay here in this one. And so let's go ahead and I'm still checking on that Pickens. You got me interested here in that Pickens news, but I can't find anything yet. Is it something that's going on right now, or is it just what we were hearing last night with those, the rumor mill? Okay, here we go. Right. Because I thought it wasn't official. He's going to the Cowboys, right? Is that what they were saying? And also, some more news here that has just come in within the last, and this is a big one here. It's just come in within the last 30 minutes. Not a very well kept secret, but the Utah Mammoth to the National Hockey League. They did finalize that the Utah Mammoth will be revealed as the team name here today to replace Utah Hockey Club. So Utah Mammoth there wins the sweepstakes today. Maybe we should do breaking news here because of Mikey. He tried to get them to be the Yeti, but it didn't quite work out. Utah Mammoth. All right. Anyway, I'm taking the Cardinals here on the run line. I'm taking the Cardinals even with these. I said Gray had good numbers. He really doesn't have great numbers here. But I think the Cardinals are the team that's playing a little bit better right now. Cardinals have beaten Pittsburgh in 7 of the last 8 games now. Pittsburgh's lost 6 straight, including 5 of their last 6 on the road. Cardinals have won 4 of 5 coming in to this one. 9 of the last 13 meetings between these two teams have gone under, although St. Louis has gone over in 6 of their last 7, including 4 of their last 5 at home. I'm taking St. Louis, though, on the run line. You've got a lot of comments coming in right now. Let me take a look and see what you got. Spoons is here. He says they saved their bullpen pieces here. He's on the cards there. NYC Bar likes the cards. Got to be the cards for Twisted. And Jermaine's got the over. Hey, good morning to Tyrone Christopher. Good to see you, Tyrone. How you been? Nice to see you here. And Charles Sharp is on the cards here. This might be another consensus. Look at all this Cardinals action, man. Keller, I mean, well, I guess Keller's numbers aren't great. We know that, but usually he's better than this. Cardinals first 5. Here's Cardinals run line. That's a lot of Cardinals for sure. And let's see here. The Storm in Mammoth there. And there it is. Okay, so we're starting to get that news. Is that it? I'm just maybe the detail. Maybe I'm just late to the news. Abel's on the cards, and he says, look at this. Cardinals, NYC Bar says Cardinals, lots of Cardinals here. Cardinals, another consensus play. Man, we are cooking with our consensus. All right, let's keep it going here right now. And next up, we've got the Giants and the Cubs. Ray Brown. My man, Raymond Brown. Ray Brown, Giants and Robbie Ray going up here against the Cubs and Brown in this one. So, hey, let's see what you guys have here. You got Ray coming in with a 3.05 ERA here in this one. 4-0 record here right now for Robbie Ray. And the Giants coming in. The Giants are 7-0 so far when Robbie Ray pitches here, but the Cubs with Brown, he's 3-2. Cubs are 4-2 with Brown on the mound. Ray has a 3 ERA, a 2.44 BABIP, and a 2.02 batting average against. Ray's been good for sure, but this game is going to be interesting. You've got the wind conditions here, 13 miles an hour, maybe more. Let's see if we can get the official. I thought it was more. They've been talking about this. I knew last night we were on the show with Keith, and he was looking at the lines for today, and he said, because we know the Cubs, nowadays they used to never put the Cubs games up until the next day because they're a little more accurate today with the wind, with the weather predictions than they were back in the day. So we always had to wait for the next day or whatever, and not a lot of betting took place overnight or whatever. So now we know. But when Keith said, "Oh, the Cubs game is frozen already overnight," I'm like, "Uh-oh." Winds are 10 to 13 miles an hour, blowing in from left center to center. I would say left center a little bit. Temperatures in the high 50s, low 60s here in this one. So this wind is expected to play a major factor in this game. That's why you're seeing the total where it is right now. In fact, I show 7 over 15,
Final.
but I think it's 7 under 15 pretty much everywhere right now. And the Cubs are favored in this game, despite what I said there about San Francisco and Robbie Ray. The Giants undefeated with Ray on the mound so far this season. These two teams met here first 2 games. It was Cubs 9-2 there in game 1. Giants won 14-5 yesterday, but they did do it with 9 runs in the 11th inning. So it was Giants were winning 5-3. Cubs got 2 in the bottom of the 9th inning, and then the Giants went off on them there a little bit in extras. So let's see how you'll play it today with the San Francisco taking on the Cubs. Cubs have gone San Francisco's won 4 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams overall. Cubs have won 4 of their last 6 coming in, but the Giants have won 4 of their last 5. Both teams with excellent records here. We've got this a good game, no doubt about it. Cubs have gone over in 12 of their last 15 games at home. 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Giants have gone over in 12 of their last 15 games on the road here. But it's not nice to fool Mother Nature. She don't care. You think Mother Nature says F you, Joe, to the overs, I think, in this game. Now, you could just say, hey, overreaction. We've seen it before. And not to mention, the Giants are 12-1-1 to the over as an underdog this season. I think that kind of reflects their record on the road to the over as well. But man, when you hear the news and everyone's talking about it, could be overreaction, weather overreaction, but both these teams have been highly profitable so far this season, and they're combined 42 and 27 to the over. Cubs, that number one offense, if you will, averaging 6 runs per game so far. They've got to, because Brown has a 4.8 ERA. Brown's 5-0-1 to the over. So do you guys want to throw it out here and just say, hey, still, got Brown, high ERA, maybe I thought when they said it was windy, I thought there was going to be 20 miles an hour. I didn't know it was only going to be 13 miles an hour. Still pretty stiff, but let's see what you guys think in this one and see what you got with one more here. There, 9 Legacy says Pirates money line, Mitch Keller to record the win. Luis is on the Cubs. Here we go. And Cash Kane says, Happy Mother's Day coming up, everybody. Should be. Hey, don't forget about take her to a ball game. Take your mom to the ball game. That's what you want to do, right? And and he says if your mom's still around, right? And my mom, she's around. Oh, wait, my mom's around right now. Hi, Mom. I got her right here. Happy Mother's Day. We'll do it again on Sunday. I was a mama's boy, so we still give her a spot. Let's see here. Giants on the money line for 9 Legacy. If you looked at the trends, you'd probably be Giants, especially with the way that, Ray, like I said, they're 7-0 with Ray. But here's Cash Kane on the Cubs, and Twisted's on the money line. Spoon's on the Cubs here. He says take a -1. It's going to be tough to score there in San Francisco. In Chicago. Remember, San Francisco used to have some wind too. They still do once in a while. And let's see here. Brown on the Cubbies for Jermaine. Cubs and a Nerfy here. And Twisted said, who is in the Cubs lineup here today? I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we have the Cubs lineup, but I would imagine, Happ, Tucker, Suzuki, Bush, Horner, PCA, Swanson, Kelly, and Birdie is the early look line, the expected lineup, if you will, right? Did I get that right? And there's no doubt that, with this number 2 lineup, even against Robbie Ray for sure, Tucker, Bush, PCA could have a good advantage here. And Cash Kane watched that game yesterday. We were watching it as well. And there's Spoons there in the chat. Oh, Spoons is a Cubs. Yeah, of course he's a Cubs fan. He's got that Wrigley Field scoreboard in his office. And let's see here. Twisted says San Francisco and Ray. Abel doing a great job with that consensus, and no doubt pretty much split here. It feels like Cubs, Robert McCormick, Cubs first 5. Cash Kane going with the Cubs. They drove him in, and it is a little bit tough there, like I said, with the way things are going for the Giants looking good, Cubs looking great too. What a good game this should be. Tino on the Giants, and there's what Spoon says. Whenever you see those wind conditions, you got to elevate them a little bit. And Twisted, hey, Twisted. Oh, okay. Thank you for sharing your story with your mom. And let's see here. Okay, I think that's it from you guys in the chat. I gotta go under. I'm going under. I believe. I'll take the under as my play here in this one. Oh my God! Look at this consensus is the Cubs. Not enough on the Giants in there. Wow. Woo. Okay, man, that's a big. Someone could get rich here today. All right. 17. We have what, 6 already? A 6-teamer coming? How about that? Okay. Let's continue on here right now with the next one here with the Mariners on the road. We're still on the day games here with Senga pitching here. Oh, wait a minute. Do I have? Oh no. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, Seattle and the A's are next with Brian Wu on the mound here for the Mariners. Road favorite here. We have seen that move, as I mentioned, though. The steam came in on the A's. So right now, Seattle is down to about $1.35. Feels like right now when that steam rolled in. The steam also came in on the over here, 9.5, under 15 is the consensus line here at this point. And for the Athletics, it'll be the rookie Hoagland, who had a pretty good start there in his first major league appearance. Hoagland, 1-0 with a 1.5 ERA, 273 batting average against, a 357 BABIP would indicate that maybe he wasn't as good as the ERA would indicate, but did have a good game, striking out hitters and didn't walk anybody as well. For Wu, he comes in 4-1 with a 2.58 ERA. He's been solid. 184 batting average against, a 227 BABIP. Wu's been good so far this season. But man, this total continues to rise here in this ballpark. It didn't go over last night, but somebody told me that the day games were going over more than the night games right now in the Sutter Health Park, where 10 of the 17 games have gone over so far this season. So I don't know if it's all playing to the huge overs here, especially the A's have gone under in 5 of their last 7. It's Seattle that's been going over. They've gone over in 12 of their last 15 games overall because that offense can smack a little bit. You see those guys coming up last night. It seemed like they were going to score. It seemed like they should have scored 20 runs against the A's with those bats. The way they were crushing there. Cal Raleigh had that big hit too in that game last night. But A's have won 10 of their last 14. Who'd have thought that the A's would have they look like the Yankees out here so far. But Seattle's done a nice job as well. They're playing 600 ball so far this season. They've won 7 of their last 9 overall. They've beaten the A's in 8 of the last 11 meetings between the two. But hey, you know what? The A's are starting to heat up to their new home a little bit. They've gone 5-2 against the spread in their, 5-2 straight up in their last 7 games coming into this one. But still, like I said, the move here clearly is on the A's today in this matchup against Seattle. So let's see what you guys have here in this one. The A's on the run line are just minus $1.35. And I think that's the direction I'm going to go, actually. You certainly wouldn't mind taking the A's if you're supporting them like I am at plus $1.10, $1.15 or so. But I'm still going to take the run line here and lay a little bit of price at plus 1.5 at minus $1.35. I think for Seattle being $1.35 favorite, I think minus $1.35 on the run line is a very decent price. And I'm going to make sure I'm going to take that extra run and a half here in this one. Let's go to the chat, though, and see how you'll play this one. And here we go with the chat. And we've got NYC Bar is going to take the woo, woo, woo. And Cash Kane likes woo first 5. Here's Luis on the over 9 legacy with Seattle on the money line. Bobby Mack says woo. And Sancho says woo. And Spoon says Hogland here for him. He's got the A's there. And Miller only came in. Miller. Did he come in last night? I was trying to remember. We were watching the game, but I think he came in to face after the A's had kind of blown it there a little bit, and I think they brought in Miller, but just to face a batter or two there to get finally out of the inning. So yeah, he'll be ready to roll. And yeah, we saw Ferguson. Ferguson was the one who gave it up, and then Miller did come in at the end of the game, but I think he just got. Was just 1 or 2 outs there, right? Mariners first 5 with woo, Kate up down. And there's Jermaine with the woo, woo, woo. Cash Kane says he'll take Seattle now. Now they got a cheaper price there a little bit, right? That's how it works. Spoon says woo, maybe will come back down to earth here a little bit. Got to be impressed, though, by the .83 whip coming in and 184 batting average against for woo. And Spoons there. Thank you to Spoons for his comments in the chat, bringing some high-level commentary there. And Spoon says Miller did not pitch that last. So let me look at that. Oh, man, is that right? I swear Ferguson was getting shelled, and they brought in Miller to get 1 or 2 outs, even though I was like, why would – maybe you're right, because I was like, why would they bring in Miller – right now after the game? But Ferguson had already gotten, like you said, beat up there a little bit there. So, all right, no problem there. Yeah. Oh, it was Hogan Harris. That's right. It was Hogan Harris that came in. Of course. Why would they do that? So yeah, Harris. He just got 1 out. He struck the guy out. That's what it was. All right. We were getting a little long in the night there, I think. Here's Twisted says A's money line, and here's Robert McCormick on the under in this one. And let's see here. And Spoon says it's his favorite play on the board today with Oakland. Well, maybe I should take it on the money line. But I've already committed to the run line a little bit, so I'll just sprinkle it maybe with the A's today and Hogland. And my official play will be on the run line, I guess. Jermaine says Seattle wins this series here today in the rubber game. All right. Let's get the next one here with the Mets taking on the Diamondbacks here with Kodai Senga taking on Merrill Kelly. And we talked about that move that came in on the Arizona Diamondbacks here, driving this one down to about 1. Well, I said 115, but I'm going to say I'll call it 120, but still some 125 out there. And the total in this one has definitely gone up to 9.5. And let's take a look at this one here with the Mets and the Diamondbacks. After we saw last night's game, we were following it here. Late night action last night, and Arizona was able to get that win there yesterday. And Arizona's won 2 of 3 coming into this one. Let's take a look at some of the numbers here. Senga has gone under in all 6 of his starts so far this season. A 1.38 ERA, a 2.22 batting average against, and a 1.16 WHIP. For Merrill Kelly, 3-1 with a 4.06 ERA, but 232 BABIP, or 213 BABIP, and a 200 batting average against. So still pretty good numbers for Merrill Kelly here. The Arizona Yeah, they've kind of tailed off a little bit. It doesn't feel like they're, fading or anything just because they're only 2 games over 500. And the Mets have done a very nice job here, obviously, so far this season, despite the loss yesterday. The Mets certainly are pretty impressive so far. They've also won 7 of the last 9 meetings here in Arizona coming in, and 13 of the last 20 meetings between the two teams. Arizona's gone over in 5 of their last 7 at home. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Mets have gone over in 5 of their last 7 on the road, but Mets are just, despite being 2-1 in the last 3 games. Remember, they were on a 4-game losing streak, I think, before that. Let's go to the chat, though, here and see what you guys have with Arizona and the Mets. We know the Mets pitching has been pretty outstanding, allowing just 3.3 runs per game so far. Meanwhile, Arizona is allowing almost 5 runs per game still, but you can calm it down here, I think, with Kelly on the mound. Let's see how you'll play it today. Go to the chat here. Maybe you guys aren't quite ready in the chat. Let's see here. Maybe it's under for NYC Bar here. It's definitely under for Cash Kane right now. And let's see here. Jermaine says Kelly on the money line. And let's see. Diamondbacks money line here for 9 Legacy. Also, Mets should be able to hit Merrill Kelly here. Let's see, just peeking at some of the BVP in this game. Nothing too special, though, here it looks like. And let's see here. Arizona gets 2. Senga says Twisted. Abel's on the under here. Spoons is on the Diamondbacks, but it says that bullpen might be a little weak. Michael Jimenez, great to have you here as part of the chat All-Stars today. Thank you, Michael. He likes the Mets team total over 4.5. I'm going to go with the Arizona Diamondbacks as my play here on the show. Give me Arizona here tonight in this one. They got it done yesterday. Maybe I'm on tilt a little bit because I was on the Mets here on the show. So I'm gonna go back to Arizona. All right. Next up, last day game here with the Dodgers and Landon Knack against Belozo. Coming in here for Knack. It does have a couple of starts so far, 1-0 record, 7.27 ERA. Not great numbers so far in just a couple of starts, but you just had another Dodger pitcher coming in. I'm sure he'll be fine. Landon Knack, we've seen him make several starts over the last year or so for the Dodgers. For Belozo here, 0-2 with a 4.97 ERA and 271 batting average against. He's also a little bit shaky here with an 0-2 with that 0-2 mark. Just 3 starts here for the Marlins. Belozo here for Miami. They've lost 6 of their last 7 meetings against the Dodgers overall. Dodgers come in having won 8 of 10 here, but still 230 or so right now. Marlins have dropped 8 of their last 10, but they did get the win yesterday over the Dodgers, 5-4 there with a walk-off victory. Didn't feel like the Dodgers were going to lose that game despite some of the batting heroics from their stars yesterday, but Miami was able to get it done. Miami's gone over in 7 of the last 8 meetings against the Dodgers overall and 8 of their last 11 games overall, but 5 of their last 7 games at home have gone under. Also 7 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams here in Miami have gone over, and the Dodgers have gone over in 7 of their last 10 games overall here. So let's see what you have in this one. And we will go to the chat. For the picks, it's Michael Jimenez says, give me the Dodgers minus a run and a half. NYC bar, Dodgers run line, cash game. Dodgers on the run line. Abel says Dodgers. Freeman over in his total bases. And Hassan Kim gets a hit, says Abel in this one. Dodgers couldn't get it done yesterday. I don't know. Nine Legacy says lay 3.5 runs today. The Dodgers will get back on the case here against the Marlins. Freeman here to hit a home run and an RBI. Freeman over in his hits and RBIs. I think maybe that's what that says. Oldie here. Abel says, give me Ohtani to get an RBI today. And Luis is going over in this one between the Dodgers and the Marlins. All righty. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. I feel like I want to take the Dodgers too. And I'll just do it on the show here. Give me the more Dodgers run line. What the heck? I mean, it's only money. All right. The Dodgers so far, I mean, just because they are 24-12, they're up 4 1/3 units so far this season. But I'll try them again. Miami did a good job yesterday. Whatever. I'll just take the Dodgers. I don't know. Oh, look at this. Abel says the Dodgers are consensus play there. Number 7 at minus 230. You guys. Robert says, give me the Dodgers. First 5 on the run line. Let's move on to the night games now and try to get through the show here. We've got the Rangers and Tyler Mahle going up here against Houck and the Red Sox. For Houck here, he's 0-2 with a 6.38 ERA. Red Sox are 1-6 with Tanner Houck on the mound so far this season. Got 3.27 BABIP. For the Rangers, Mahle 3-1 with a 1.19 ERA. Rangers are 1-6 to the under with Mahle on the mound. We know the Rangers are addicted to unders at this point. He does have a .98 whip and a 174 batting average against. Mahle's been pretty solid here so far this season. Right now, the Red Sox are minus $1.20. Currently, maybe even $1. I'm going to call them $1.30 right now, with a little bit of movement to the Red Sox here today. Rangers. Yes, the offense has been struggling, but who was it that got the win yesterday there? None other than the Rangers with Eovaldi over Giolito in that under yesterday. So starting to get a few lineups in here. Maybe we can cover them, but I do want to get through the show here a little bit. Let's go to the chat and see what you guys have. Houck, 6.38 ERA, we said here also. Texas has won 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams. Boston comes in having lost 5 of their last 6 games overall and 8 of their last 10. Or no, I'm sorry, let me get that straight. Boston has lost 5 of their last 6 games overall and 3 straight. Also losing 4 of their last 5 games at home. They lost the series to Minnesota and lost yesterday's game here 6-1 to Texas. Texas comes in also, though, just 3-7 in their last 10 games overall. Texas has gone under in 16 of their last 20, including 6 straight on the road. We talk about Texas and their unders at home, but they've also gone under in 6 straight on the road. Texas is 11-25 to the under so far this season, 6-12 to the under as a dog. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under. I don't know if it's going to go under today with this matchup, but let's see what you guys have in the chat. I think I know what I'm doing, but I want to see what you guys have because you guys have had so many consensus plays here today. We've got Nasty Nate leading us off. He's got the Red Sox here in this one. And we've got NYC Bar on the Red Sox on the money line. Want to say hello to new viewer here, or new commenter, Keith Just Truth. He likes Red Sox over and their team total. Thank you to Keith. Thank you for being a member of the chat All-Stars here today.
Final.
Also, Jermaine is on the under here. 9 Legacy likes the Rangers on the money line. Fernando's on the Red Sox. Abel says Molly beat these guys first week of the season, and Sox pitchers lost 3 games against, it means Houck. Houck there with some rough numbers, I think is what he's saying. Against Houck here, you do have some gaudy numbers. Jonah Heim, 571 average with 3 home runs. Adolis Garcia, a couple of home runs off of Houck, 444 average. Langford and Smith, both 2 for 6. So, yeah, some pretty hefty numbers there for sure. But Briggs, 429 against Molly. All right, let's see here. We've got Duran to get a hit, says Keith. Robert McCormick says Boston, first 5, run line. And Jermaine says, no. Oh, maybe I got the drive the total wrong here. Let me see what I've got. I've got 9.5 under 15, and yeah, maybe there's still some 9.5 unders for sure. There's also 9 over, so that feels pretty accurate, but maybe 9 over. Oh, I see Jermaine switching to the over. That's what he's saying right there. He likes the over in this one. I kind of do too, but I'm going to take Texas here against Boston today. I'm taking Texas in this one at even money or so, right? No, a little bit of plus money. I'm going to take Texas today. Few more here. Let's see. Rangers on the run line for Cash Kane. Luis is on Texas, and here's Abel on the Rangers here as well. Cash Kane said he had the under yesterday. And Sharpie, thank you for a great night last night. Thank you for being a gracious host and having a fun time watching the Major League Baseball action. It's always you learn a lot hanging out with Sharpie and listen to him talk about the pitchers that he targets. Thank you to Sharpie for a great hosting last night over there on his channel and our simulcast on the Sports Money Network. Every Tuesday night, you guys, not only every Tuesday night when Sharpie has time for when he's got a night off, but right now, every Tuesday, I want to touch on this. Sharpie and Mikey are doing a great show here on both channels, including the Sports Money Network, with Sharpie's longtime show, The Walking Dead, part of the Sports Money family over here now with that Tuesday show. Thank you, Sharpie. Let's continue on now with the Phillies taking on the Rays here with Chris Sanchez going on the mound in this one against Shane Baz. We got Philly here minus $1.30. The total is 8.5 under at minus 120. Starting to see some 8 overs out there as well here in this one for Chris Sanchez. Here he comes in with 3.45 ERA, but a 3.46 BABIP here so far. He is 3-1, and the Phillies are 5-1 with Sanchez on the mound so far this season. Philly is favorite here against Baz. Baz is also 3-1 with a 3.86 ERA, 1.7 WHIP, and a 2.28 batting average against. I think these team pitchers seem to have similar numbers, although Baz has a much lower BABIP coming into this one. For Philadelphia, they've won 7 straight games against Tampa Bay in this interleague series anyway. Phillies won 7 of their last 9. Tampa's lost 5 straight at home. including and also Tampa's lost 4 of the last 5 games against Philadelphia here at home. Philly's gone under in 9 of their last 12 games on the road. Meanwhile, the Rays have gone under in 7 of their last 10. Philadelphia is kind of an over so far, even though they've gone under on the road. They have gone over in 13 of their last 20, but we know at home this season they've been a big time over, and on the road it's been pretty much just the opposite. 6 and 10 to the under overall on the road this season. Some of that's dating back, I guess. 9 of the last 12. Yeah, it makes sense, right? We keep saying they went over early on. So let's see what you got here in this one coming in. Philadelphia is 16 and 11 as a run line favorite. Going to the chat here right now, and let's see here. Sharpie says Molly is a run total for the day. Talking about the line there, heavily juiced. NYC Bar is on the Phillies in this one. Luis is on the Phillies. And Cash Kane says Ramon's playing sides today and not totals. I know, I'm liking the totals. I'm kind of got some premiums today with these totals. Abel likes the Phillies, but Robert's on the Rays. And Cash Kane says maybe I got to take the Rays in this one. Keith Just Truth says Phillies first 5 on the run line and team total over. And Sancho's on the Rays money line. I'm taking the Phillies here in this one on the road. I've got more chalk. Yeah, I am chalky here. Well, I just take Molly, but give me the Phillies here in this one. 9 Legacy Phillies on the run line. Let's go next to my Padres right now in their game against the Yankees. And hey, shamelessly, I took the Yankees yesterday against my Padres, and the Padres end up getting routed with that 10-run 7th inning or whatever they had. It was 10 runs, but for the Padres here with Dylan Cease. The numbers haven't been great, but Dylan Cease has kept them in the game. The Padres are 5-2 with Dylan Cease on the mound. He's just 1-2 with a 5.61 ERA and 375 BABIP. So, yeah, Cease hasn't been great, that's for sure. Maybe too many walks here right now for Cease, it feels like. For the Yankees and Max Fried, $1.80 does seem a little bit hard to swallow, but they are undefeated with Max Fried on the mound so far. 7-0 this season with a 101 ERA. Pretty terrific for sure for Fried. Here, 187 batting average against. Still a huge line here at this point. You'd think that Cease is a type that is going to get up for the game, and he's probably due to improve, I would think, on these numbers here. I'm not fretting at this point about Cease's poor start. Padres still had won 6 in a row before last night's game. They've lost 5 of the last 7 to the Yankees. Padres are 4-1 their last 5 on the road. Padres have gone under in 9 of their last 12 of their last 18 overall. The Yankees have gone under in 9 of their last 13. 8 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams have gone under, and the Yankees have gone under in 8 of their last 11 games at home. But here with the total in this one now currently at 8 under 15, maybe 8 flat. It seems like it is trickling up just a little bit. Definitely seeing some 8 flats out there right now. And look, Fried's been outstanding, no doubt about it. And that's a high line though there with the Padres. I kind of want to. I'm taking the over here, even with Fried on these great numbers. I'm taking the over in this one. Let's go to the chat, see what you have here, and we've got Luis is on the Yankees here in this one. NYC Bar likes New York money line. Robert's on the Padres, and 9 Legacy says the Yankees gonna smash them again. Oh, darn it. I don't want them to smash my Padres right now. And yeah, they won. I thought the umpires would give it to the Yankees, but um, umpires around the league right now. We talked about the challenge system a little bit last night. We can't, we need it this year. It does. It feels like I like to look at the umpire scorecard. Does anybody look at the umpire scorecard? Um, that X feed, where it has a little diagram and everything. I mean, I believe in all those metrics, and I think that's why we need the um, challenge system. The challenge the call. So, uh, anyway, you got Abel on the Yankees here a little bit. I don't know, man. I'll probably find a way to take the Padres on the run line, maybe here, but maybe I'll just bet them, root for my Padres. Cease has had, as Cash Kane says, I mean, a lot of people think Cease might have lost it here so far. I'm not going to go that far. But, all right, I guess that's it for that one. Let's continue on here right now with our next one with Cincinnati taking on Atlanta. Pretty good game here, it feels like, right? With the Reds here. Both teams are just one game under 500, but the Reds are a favorite on the road. No, not anymore. The Braves are the favorite in this one. How about that? Let's flip-flop it here. There we go. And I've got the Braves here, probably $1.15, maybe even $1.20 right now. The Braves have been a significant mover. We did announce a team that came in while we were on the air here, so probably should have made sense of that. And the total definitely has moved here higher too. Well, mostly 7.5 overs at this point, although the sharp books are already up to 8 under in this one. But I don't know, with Green and Holmes, let's take a look because, to me, Green's been pretty good. 2.53 ERA so far, 0.82 whip, 174 batting average against, 215 BABIP. Good numbers for Green, of course. Holmes, though, 4.24 ERA, but 186 batting average against, 282 BABIP. Having some trouble with the walks is Holmes here, but nonetheless, you do have a Green 2-5 to the under so far this season. Reds with that decent offense, 4.8 runs per game coming in, but the Reds have lost 4 of their last 5 against Atlanta. They've also dropped 4 of their last 5 overall. Atlanta's now won 12 of their last 17 games. Here comes Atlanta. Heating up after that shaky start. They've won 3 straight. The Reds have lost 4 straight coming into this one. Both these teams have gone under in 7 of their last 10 games. Atlanta's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games at home. Cincinnati's gone under in 6 of their last 7 games on the road. Atlanta's gone under in 7 of their last 8, and the Reds have gone under in 4 of their last 5. I'm going to go under here in this one with Green and Holmes. I think both pitchers are doing well here right now, both starters. So give me the under here with Cincinnati and Atlanta. Let's go to the chat in this one and see what you got. Luis, I think, is on the under here. NYC Bar, though, likes the over. Abel, let's see, Cash Kane is on the under here in this one, and I'll take the under as well. And he also gives us a play there on says it leaning to the Reds first 5. Thank you. Abel likes the under as well here with Cincinnati and Atlanta. And like I said, I think there's enough 8. You can find 8 under 20 if you prefer. The White Sox are going to take on the Royals here with Jonathan Cannon going up here against Michael Wacha. For Cannon, 2-3 record so far in 6 starts, 7 appearances. The White Sox are 1-5 with Cannon on the mound, despite his 3 losses and 2 wins. 4.26 ERA, 253 batting average against. Canada's been serviceable, it does feel like so far, especially when you consider what the White Sox. It seems like they get decent pitching, but we know they struggle with the bats. But still, they are averaging more runs per game than the Royals, well, at least by a tenth of a run. Royals averaging 3.4 runs per game. The pitching, though, has been outstanding. 3.3 runs allowed per game for Michael Wacha. He's 1-4, 3.52 ERA, 287 BABIP. He's been average, maybe okay for sure for Wacha here. But the Royals are 12-24 to the under so far this season. That's been pretty solid, especially at home here. So look, Kansas City still 230 favorite. I don't know if they're doing enough, but they have won 4 in a row. Enough meaning to cover another run line, but they have won 4 in a row. Kansas City is 11-7 on the run line at home so far this season, and Kansas City here is also 6-12 to the under at home so far. Chicago has lost 8 straight games to Kansas City overall. 8 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under here in Kansas City. Kansas City's won 7 of their last 8, 8 of their last 9 at home. 12 of the last 14 meetings overall has gone under as well. White Sox have dropped 15 of 18 on the road and 14 of their last 20 overall here. But let's see how you guys have this one with, we'll do this one quickly, obviously with a lopsided spread, but what is your call in the chat between these two? We've got, of course, what did we do yesterday? Oh yeah, we had the Royals and obviously a close, low-scoring game there yesterday. Here we go with the chat in this one with White Sox money line here for 9 Legacy. Keith Just Truth says Royals run line, go Wacha's hits allowed over. He'll go 6 innings. Abel likes the Royals here in this one. And gosh, I mean, I want to play the Royal, but hey, after what we saw in yesterday's game, you know, it's a low-scoring game, and the Royals were able, it was 4-3, but they weren't able to get the run line necessarily against the White Sox. Steam came in on the over here in this one. Cash Cane says they'll usually pull Cannon by the 3rd inning or so. So here's NYC Bar just said, I'll take the Royals on the money line, even if it's 220 here. The short books are at about 210 here right now, and this total has definitely gone up. Pretty much 8.5 everywhere. In fact, it feels like it's even shaded to the over here. I'll call it 8.5. There we go. And I'm going to take the Royals again. This has been a dominating series. Yeah, they just won by 1, but I'm going to I'll try the Royals here on the run. That's all I'm going to do is on the show. I'll take them. But all right, a few more here. We're almost done. Baltimore taking on Minnesota. And how about this, right? We saw yesterday a lopsided victory there for Minnesota. We did have the overs, a premium pick there yesterday, but Lopez kind of mowed down the Orioles here. You got Charlie Morton going up against Simeon Woods Richardson. Minnesota, about $1.30. And the total 9 under 15 here for the most part right now. Taking a look here at the matchup. You got Morton here, 9.76. Speaking of, 9.76 ERA, when you'd call the score phone, it was 9.76, 1.313. Morton 0-6 record with that bad ERA. He's got 3.39 batting average against. He's been awful, quite frankly. For Woods Richardson, 4.03 ERA, but 3.29 BABIP. He is 1-4 to the under so far this season. The widely reported steam did come in on the under here in this one. So the pitchers haven't been good, but the Sharps definitely coming in on the under. These two teams already combined to go 20 units, minus 20 units so far. Hey, everyone, some steam is coming in right now in the game between Houston and Milwaukee. Houston's getting steamed here right now, and Houston is going to be going up here. We might be seeing, I wonder if there is some personnel information here actually possibly for the Brewers. Could they have a key bat out of the lineup today? We haven't seen the lineup just yet, but now Houston's up to $1.45. I'm already on Milwaukee. I know that, but we'll see, though. It does feel like maybe waiting for those lineups to come out. Maybe they may be out. I just haven't seen it yet here on the show, but I'm wondering if the Brewers don't have some offense out of the lineup here on getaway day. Okay. Baltimore, though, and Minnesota here in this one. Like I said, been a pretty big flop here for sure for Baltimore right now, given the fact that already they're 13-21. Minnesota isn't much better at 16-20 here, but maybe this line's manageable. Minnesota's won 3 straight. Baltimore has lost 3 straight coming in. I'm going to try Minnesota here. After yesterday, I went with Baltimore and totally failed here. My little algorithmic computer here is telling me to take Baltimore again, but I can't do it. It feels like the price is okay for Minnesota, so I'm going to veto this one, and I'll take Minnesota here. Ignore the computer usually puts me to shame, but just can't do it right now with Baltimore getting crushed there yesterday, and Morton, clearly one of the worst pitchers right now in the league, coming in. So here we go. We've got, let's see here, and we've got getting the picks here in there with Keith. Hey, Keith, new commenter Keith. We and Keith were like this right now. He knows the 976-1313. Dial it. We're talking to you. All right. Orioles maybe here for cash cane. You guys are liking the Orioles too. I get it here. Like I said, my computer says take them, but Twins just hit Morton, so take them their team total over. Robert likes the under here. You know what? I might be with Robert, even though these pitchers are bad. Here's Abel on the Twins, 9 legacy, Baltimore money line, and Keith Just Truth says take the Twins when they're hot, and fade them when they're not. They're hot right now, so I'm on the Twins. Here, Robert says got a little bit of wind. Here is action here tonight in Minnesota. He says got some weather conditions with the Twins tonight, and the wind blowing out or blowing in. I mean, what did he say? Blowing in big time, 11 to 12 miles per hour. All right. So Cash Kane says the old with this line being so low, he's going to take Baltimore. All right, Tigers and Dodgers. We're almost done here. Oh, let me. I think we've got one wrong here. I think I missed one of the. Oh no, Tigers and Rockies here. Got it with Jackson Jobe is going to pitch. So, like I said, they'll go with a single game today, and the doubleheader will be tomorrow. Jobe has been quite a revelation, hasn't he? Let me write it down here. I still had Mize on my sheet, but I know it's been Jobe. The widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game. Tigers are 5-0 with Jobe on the mound so far. 212 batting average against, 227 BABIP. Got to get those walks down for the young pitcher, but feels pretty good with these Tigers playing so well and getting good young pitching in here. And for Dolander here, I'm still on Dolander here long term. He'll learn feels like Dolander learning on the job here for the Rockies in the major leagues, and maybe he'll get a chance to pitch somewhere for real. But they're going to work him in here, keep going. He does have a 294 BABIP, 6.48 ERA, has made 5 starts, but I do like Dolander long term. I think, good looking prospect here. Everyone kind of agrees. Colorado's lost 3 straight. Tigers come in super hot. And feeling good, man. You got to be happy for these guys. Colorado's won 4 of their last 5 games. Coming in, they've also beaten the Rockies in 4 of their last 5 games overall. Are they good enough to get a run line here? Well, so far, the Tigers are 12-6 as a run line favorite. The Rockies are 10-21 as a run line dog. I mean, they're always a run line dog. They've only been favored in 3 games so far this season. Can Detroit get a run line on them? Here today, we had the obviously the rain out yesterday, but Colorado won the first game 4-2. Remember, back on Monday. So can you get on them here today? I don't know. Colorado's gone under in 5 straight games at home coming in. Colorado's also gone under in 7 of their last 9. Detroit's gone over in 6 of their last 7 games overall coming in. So let's see what you have here. Detroit and Colorado today
Lineup
in the Mile High City. And let's go to the chat here. We're almost done. Thank you, everybody, for joining me here on that morning steam show. It's got Tigers here for Cash Cane. Keith Just Truth says, maybe I think he might be saying maybe Job's getting a little too public-y, so to speak. Also, here's Abel. Tigers and over. 9 Legacy lays another 3.5 runs, and Job to record a win for Abel. He says, you know what? It could be minus 3.5 today. And I'll go ahead and take Detroit on the run line. Rockies have certainly a lot of problems still, and not going too good right now with the having lost their last 3 games by a combined score of 19-6. And maybe they regroup here after the rain out here. Colorado 11-22 to the under so far this season, 5-9 to the under at home. And even though the Tigers are 12-7 on the road to the over, they are 7-10 to the under as a favorite, although many of those had come at home this season. I'll go ahead and take Detroit, though, on the run line. Okay, next up. Oh, here we got a few more. Luis on the Tigers, and Abel says, Tigers, another consensus play. Throw them in there, $1.85 or whatever they were. Yeah, $1.85 sounds good. Total there at 9.5 but Robert does like under 10, and we do see I definitely have a little bit of a stale line there at 9.5. It's either 9.5 over or 10 under. For sure, but we're not going to fret it. We're going to move on to the last game here, get the show over with. Thank you for joining me here on the Morning Steam Show, and should have a great day here with our daytime action. All right, here we go. One more here with Toronto taking on the Angels here tonight. Make sure you guys comment if you want to be into the drawing here for the consensus parlay tonight. Blue Jays and Angels here with Jose Barrios going up against Yusei Kikuchi in this one. Toronto on the road, $1.25 here, total 8.5. Over at minus 120. I think the 9s are not there. 8.5 for sure in this one.
Steam play.
There we go. 8.5 over 20. Yeah. there we go. Let's take a look at this one here with Barrios. Comes in here right now with an ERA of a 3.98 and 304 BABIP coming into this one. Barrios just a 1-1 record and 7 starts so far this season. Kikuchi also 7 starts. He's 0-4, and the Angels are 1-6 with Kikuchi starting, and he's got 301 BABIP. These pitchers actually have very nearly identical numbers. The only difference is one's a right-hander and one's a left-hander, of course. For Toronto here, they've lost 11 of their last 15 overall, but the Angels have lost 8 of their last 10 games coming in. The Angels got it done yesterday with Anderson getting the win. Of course, we did note that Barrios was actually pushed back for this game there last night. It was the starting pitcher for Toronto ended up being Jose Urania, and he didn't pitch too bad considering pretty much thought his career was over there, but he got in there and pitched pretty well. Still, the Angels were able to come away with the win. So Barrios, Toronto's 5-2 with Barrios on the mound here. Toronto has gone over in 5 of their last 7. The Angels have gone over in 6 of their last 7 games coming in. So definitely some overs with these two teams. Yesterday's game went over. Remember, we had the over here on the show yesterday. So let's see, though, how you have this one with Toronto and the Angels. You look at these two teams so far. Angels 16-9 to the over as an underdog, but Toronto is 4-12 to the under at home so far. So see what you got here in this one between the Blue Jays and the Angels here on Wednesday night. Last game, here we go, and I'm gonna try the under tonight in this one between Toronto and the Angels. Give me the under here as my pick. Let's get your pick, and then we'll be done with the show. Let's see here. Blue Jays run line for 9 legacy. Luis is on the Jays. NYC Bar took the Tigers back in that last game. Cash Kane's on the under. Hello to Trey Berry. Thank you for commenting here and stopping by to see us. He likes the under in this one. Jays likes the first 5. Cash Kane says Barrios and the Blue Jays first 5. And 9 legacy says, you know what? I didn't know that Kikuchi was in there, and he's going to go with Kikuchi. A lot of people like to bang on Kikuchi a little bit, and we do got to see more, actually. It doesn't feel like he's really doing a great job here, but you know what? We'll see. Robert here is on the Angels. NYC Bar takes Toronto here. Just like I said, Toronto 5-2 with Barrios on the mound. Angels 1-6 with Kikuchi, but still, you got the left-hander in there for the Angels. Let's wrap it up here on the Morning Steam Show. I'm on the under, by the way, in that one, Blue Jays and Angels tonight. One more game, shall we, real quick? Arsenal and PSG here. Hey, if you want my play on this one, you know what? You got to go over to winnable.com. This is my premium pick, so I've got a premium in this one in the Champions League Leg 2 semifinal between PSG and Arsenal. And that leads us into our commercial here, and then we will do the drawing. And thank you for joining me here on the Morning Steam. By the way, just moments ago, I just took the Detroit Tigers like a square, but the Rockies are taking the steam here right now. If you like discounts, Detroit might be for you today. Right now, I'm showing Bet Online is already down to $1.63 on Detroit. That sounds like official steam. This machine doesn't go off by it, like me pushing buttons here. We're seeing steam come in here on the Rockies. Those sharps, they don't care. if a team is 6-28, they'll take them anyways. So steam on the Rockies right now. This is a Champions League final today, so check it out. Should be pretty exciting. The score is 1-0 right now in favor of Paris Saint-Germain over Arsenal. Right now, PSG is not having much difficulty beating Premier League sides, so I'm going to go ahead and take them. They're winning 1-0. A tie is going to get PSG home here, but I'll still take them to win today's game. Oh, did I just give away my premium pick? I think I did. Okay, well, you owe me. Go over there and support me over at winnable.com. I think I just gave away. You know what? Double check my work. Go subscribe over at winnable.com. See if I'm telling the truth there in the game between Paris. Man, no wonder I can't sell any packages. Hey, you guys, why not give me a chance over there and pick up a 1 week package and ride with me if you like to support me here on the show and keep coming back. That's how you do it here on the Morning Steam. Yeah, we have lots of great ways to support the channel. You can do the super chat, you can do the donos, the memberships, but really the only way you can support me directly, to be honest, and that's my deal with Mikey. I told him I'd give him a show every day if he'd let me kind of tout my wares here a little bit. So if you want some extra plays, I give you plays every morning here. But what I have really is time-sensitive information, if you know what I mean. You send these games out 30 minutes to an hour before the game starts. Try to get the best plays here for the rest of the day. And you can get them every day for 56 cents, $19.95 a month, or $8 a week if you want, over there at winnable.com. And I really appreciate it. If right now, we've got a few dozen subscribers, and if everybody canceled their subscriptions today, I'd probably just stop doing this, because I really, really come here to be with you guys in the chat. This is what motivates me every day to come in and wake up at 3 a.m, get ready for the show. Even though today, I got up at 4 because they kept me up a little late last night. We were watching some Oakland-Seattle game late into the night. All right. That's it over there for that. Let's do the drawing here real quick, and then we'll get on out of here. Thank you for spending your time here with me. The drawing is underway, and I can't get it on the screen because I'm too slow, but the winner is going to be Fernando. Of course it is. Thank you, Fernando. And you see, hey, we've got let's just say it. I don't know. We got Mexican football tonight. I know that, with a couple of games here today. And Fernando gets a chance to be our drawing winner. There he is. And Keith Just Truth, we will have some college baseball today. So Keith Just Truth, obviously a little bit of follower here, but great to have him here in the chat today. Look at these consensus plays too. Wow. NYC Bar did take Toronto, and Robert took the Angels. I don't know if I caught those there, but take a look at the consensus plays. Keith, I will have some college baseball. I know we've seen some cancellations, or 1 or 2 today. And Fernando, is he talking about winnable? Fernando, you talking about winnable? Because it's just on I don't want to, take up your time or anybody else's if it's you were talking about some other app, but it is that browser based, so it's not an app. And it says app is confusing, so hopefully if I got it right. But look, this is what it looks like when you go on there, right? It looks like this, and then you subscribe here with Apple Pay, Google Pay, and when you click on it and it comes up, it's just like subscribing to getting your Taco Bell. You just click on the little double click I buy my own picks here right now. So check me out there today. All right, gang, that's going to do it. Thank you for being here. Had a great show with you guys, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you, everybody in the chat today. Don't forget, join Mikey Money in the chat All-Stars. I'm sorry, Mikey Money in pre-gaming, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. Mikey, get you ready for the primetime action. We'll also have our coverage, I believe, come out tonight for UFC First Strike, and the guys will have their picks for UFC 315 this Saturday night with 2 championship bouts, including women's flyweight championship between Valentina Shevchenko and Manon Fiorot, and the welterweight championship on the men's side, Bilal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena. So check out the guys there in that one. That's going to do it for the morning's team. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steal. Ramon Scott, sports money. Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.